Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. It is Tuesday at 5 o'clock, and you're tuned in to the Ask Dr. Ron show. And I'm glad that you are here because I am here, and we got a great show today. I always say we got a great show because it's always true. We got people from the community that are coming in, giving us information that we need to be able to survive in the community. And I tell you, I love my network of people because they always keep me informed on what's going on. I love it. I love it. So I'm not gonna dilly dally too long. I'm gonna get my announcements out the way so we can bring our guest on. The first thing I want to do is give a shout out to all of our healthcare heroes that are on the front line. Our healthcare heroes make it um, possible for our loved ones to come back to us. And I appreciate them for doing what they're doing and all that they do because, they say that this pandemic is over with and they say that everything is all clear. But, I just don't believe them, y'all. I'm just going to be honest with you. It feels like there are still people dying. And, I'm glad that we've got people that have been doing what they've been doing for the last year and a half plus, and they are keeping our families, healthy and safe and bringing them back to us. So they got treatment plans now. They've got vaccinations now. So they're doing all that they know to do and all that with the help of our healthcare heroes. So I applaud them and celebrate them, let them know that we are praying for them every time, we go on the air, we shout them out. Also like to give a shout out to all of our spiritual leaders, all of our pastors, all of our heroes that are on the front line seeking God, getting information to keep us informed on what's going on in the world today. So I always applaud them every time I go on the air, and a special shout out to Dr. Hunt, who is my mentor and spiritual leader. He and I have been rolling together for the last 30 years. If you've got a mentor and a leader, definitely keep him lifted up in prayer and shout him out every chance you get. Let him know that you're thinking about him and he's in your prayers or she's in your prayers so that they know that, hey, just like they're praying for you, you are praying for them. All right. So let's go over here right quick. I want to expose you all to my website. I want to encourage you to go over to ASK dash dr dash ron.com. That's askdrron.com. When you get over there, check out some of our advertisers. RJ Webb, Prince Hunter, Port Again Sam are just a few. So Synergy, we had him on last week, and he was telling us about all that he does with his vending and businesses. When you go over to the website, just click on any one of the banners or any one of the flyers that you will see, and it will take you directly to their website, and you'll be able to support them as they support us. Each and every one of those vendors make it possible for us to do what we do here on the Ask Dr. Ron show, and I thank them and I support them by keeping their name up in front of everybody every chance I get. Also, while you're there, you can scroll all the way up to the top. You'll see all of our social media. All of our social media. You'll be able to see my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, and my YouTube channel. Click on them. It'll take you directly to each and every one of those social medias where you can become a friend and keep up to date with what's going on here at the show. You know, so you guys, we appreciate you supporting all of my vendors because without them, it would be it would be difficult. Okay, so I need you to support them. So without further ado, we're going to bring on a friend to the show. He's been here many times before, Mr. Robert Saunders. He comes with information that we all need, okay, to know about. I know that there are many people that have various different situations and circumstances that are going on, dealing with housing, whether you're a landlord or you're a tenant. He has always brought us information that has been a positive for us to be able to know what's going on in the community, and with his organization and what he's been made aware of, what's going on. And look, I welcome him to the show again, Mr. Robert Saunders. Welcome to the show, my brother.
All right, I guess I'm on now.
Yeah, you on. You on,
All
man.
right, all right.
Yeah,
He
yeah, you
he
here.
he told me he didn't mind if I did whatever I wanted to do. He said I could pick my nose or whatever, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll be nice
Go
today.
right ahead, man. Pick your nose, man.
Oh no,
It
I'm
ain't
not
look.
gonna. I'm not.
It ain't like people ain't never seen that before, you know.
All right, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not getting started on that. I ain't getting started with you on that one because
All right,
you,
all right.
you know how we are. You know how we are. We just
Oh
friendly.
yeah. Well, look, off the air we friends, y'all. So we clown. I can call him up on a Sunday night or a Monday night in the middle of a football game, and he'll answer the call. I don't just have to call him on 9 to 5 on Monday through Friday. It was crazy. We were doing a test on Sunday, and he looked up and he saw a message that somebody had contacted him at 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, "Oh, they're gonna have to wait till Monday."
Yeah, that was on the work. That was on the work line too, man. That was on the. Yeah, we
uh,
can't do no counseling, no housing counseling, anything, on no Sunday at that early in the morning.
I
But
know that's right. He was calling for help. He needed bond money.
oh,
when
oh
you
man,
well,
you
look, when
something
you
else.
get that call that time of night, they need bond money. Okay,
Usually
they
that's
didn't
what it
they
is.
didn't this or need an emergency ride or something. Hey man, can you come pick me up?
Now, now some of my clients they are friends, so I can say yeah, if they needed something like that, I would help them out. I would
There you
do what I had
go.
to do.
There you go. Yeah.
And I'm glad you that kind of friend. You're that
Well,
kind of
bless
friend to
your
me.
heart, man. Thank you, and vice versa. If you
Yeah.
call me, I'm coming. I might be late getting there, but I'm coming, because I'm gonna tell people that's in trouble, but call the police first, okay, and call
Mm-hmm.
me second. I had a cousin. It's so crazy. She ain't with us no more. God rest her soul. She used to get into violence, domestic violence with her husband. And I found later in life that he wasn't beating her up; she was beating him up.
Mm.
Okay. And then she would call me screaming and hollering, talking about, I need you to come over here right now. And I'd be like, okay, I'm on my way. But, I got smart about it. I would call the police and have them meet me there. Okay. I'm like, look, she ain't finna get me in no trouble, throw me under the bus, or none of that
Mm.
stuff. I'm going to call the police and have them meet me, pull up at the same time that I'm pulling up. So that way, whatever's going on, we all a witness. Okay.
That's
And
right.
and as terrible as it was, and I felt sorry later on because I was like, I would show up and the police would automatically take him into custody.
Wow.
I'm like, dang, he must got a reputation of getting arrested around here or something. They would just take, come on, let's go. And then she would go down there and bond him out. And I would say, okay, I'm through. Gotta go. I gotta go. So I understand, terrible situations, that exist. But that's not our topic for today. Our topic today has to deal with what information that you want to bring to us today about housing counseling, rent relief that may be out there, any updates that you may know about, that you can share with us today? Because this is, like we're coming into the end of October, and there are a lot of people that have not got their relief that they signed up for. And I know you can't speak to that specifically, but you might be able to share some information that will give some people some comfort at this particular time.
Yeah, Ron, before I start anything, I just wanted to thank you for having me on the show again.
Mhm.
And people like you who do what they can to get the word out have helped so many others. Any of the sponsors, if they're listening in, you cannot do enough to support Ask Dr. Ron because he does get the word out and he utilizes the resources and he don't hold on to them. He passes them out and he's referred clients to me in the past and I was able to help most of them. Your efforts and what you do does not go unnoticed. I want to say
Well, before
in
you
this.
go, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, you welcome, man. I was trying to keep it toned down because you've done even more than that. But
Thank you.
um, I want to say this that we're in a critical period at this particular point in time in our country, and before I get into it, um, but maybe 2 years ago, I was actually told that this uh, this the foreclosure crisis, the crisis that people are facing with rent and being able to afford rent, that it was not going to get better, but it was going to get worse, and there was going to be another bubble that was going to burst. And I'm not a foreteller of doom, but I want to tell you this: that has not happened yet. We went through the
Mm,
pandemic, and it's a scary thing. The last time we talked about the disparity between African American homeowners and non African American homeowners. There's a wide disparity there, and then we also uh, talked about housing affordability and a lot of other things that we talked about on this show. But right now we're in the midst of a pandemic, and the pandemic has affected literally everyone. It wasn't so much of a problem when it affected us, because after all, there were a lot of us that were dying and getting sick in record numbers. If I remember correctly, at the start of the pandemic. However, it became a problem when others were affected by the pandemic. And I'm just keeping it. I'm just keeping it real. You know, we like to
mm-hmm.
keep it 100. The statistics can back up what I'm saying on this. Now, when we look at the pandemic and what has come down from the government, we have the rent relief. Pretty soon we're going to have the mortgage relief. But the rent relief um, through the state and through the county is being received by largely African Americans. The numbers are there. The numbers don't lie. And what I'm saying, many African American households have benefited already from Cook County and through the state run program, which is the ILRPP, which is actually wrapping up right now between the end of the toward the end of this month, first part of November. They're wrapping up, and they've already funded out over $300 million
Mm,
in loans. And I'm telling you for a fact that most of those funds have been doled out into the African American communities because they were hurt. They were hurt the worst, and
mm-hmm.
that's a fact. Now there are still a lot of disparities, or I'll say confusion that's going on with in respect to some of these applications being processed. Some of you that may be listening, you keep looking in the queue and it'll say application received or application process. You applied for it back in May of this year or June and July of this year, and you're like, well, where is the money? It reminds me of the lady that on the old McDonald, old Wendy's commercial. Where's
Yeah.
the beef?
Where's the
Where's the
beef?
beef?
Yeah.
What's happening? I need the salami. I need it
All
now.
right. Where's the
And
money?
and you know, it's Vegas. Show me the money. I don't see
Right.
nothing. Ain't nothing
Right.
happening. Got the
Right.
landlord breathing down your neck, asking you, "Hey, where's it at?" If you have not been denied or rejected, just hold on, because we did get something out. We had a meeting today in the office, and on this week, late last week, there was a meeting regarding the status. So they are processing. They're ending. They're coming up to ending the landlord-led applications, and the tenant-led applications have been processed. And some of them have already been approved and funded, but they're
Okay.
doing the final push to try to get all of these out, to get them approved, funded, paid out, or denied.
Okay.
And
So
what?
wait a minute. I don't want you to go past that too fast. Let me just go slow right there. So they addressed and processed the landlord led applications first. So that
Hmm.
means if you were a landlord and you got together with your tenant and you process the information, put it in queue to get a check for what the back past due was, they were in priority as far as getting money.
Right.
Okay, I
Right.
just want now, and then the second in queue as far as priority are if you were a tenant and you applied in conjunction with your landlord, filling out the necessary documentation. But you led it as a tenant, they were second in queue.
Right. And there's a difference now between
Okay,
the landlord and the tenant led. Whenever you have the landlord led applications, they would receive the funds
right.
directly.
Mm-hmm.
Tenant led applications, the tenant will receive the funds directly if the landlord did not sign on.
If
Uh,
they didn't fill out their part of the
right. If
application,
they didn't, right. If they didn't complete their part of the application, they didn't sign on to it, then the tenant would
the
have
money
had
would.
to take a course that we offered one in our agency and several of our partner agencies across the state. This is a statewide program too, people, because you got to understand there was over 100,000 applications that came in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a statewide program. You only have so many people that's processing these. So that was another reason why it went slow. But with these applications that are coming in, they had to take a course and they had to submit proof of the non-payment of rent that would have came from the landlord, and the check would have been sent directly to the tenant,
Mm-hmm.
and that tenant would use that, to pay. The landlord wanted to accept it. Now, some of them didn't accept it, and they may have used that money or tried to utilize that money so that they can become properly housed.
Right.
Because the goal is that you don't want anyone not housed, and to prevent homelessness.
Right.
Uh, now that program is wrapping up. That's what I was
Mm-hmm.
saying. So some of you that are listening, just hold on to this program. But now, if you haven't received anything or haven't been approved, you are eligible to apply for the emergency rental assistance program that's offered through the Cook County COVID-19 recovery emergency rental assistance. So that is the second program, and you can apply for that program while you're waiting on this one. So
And it's good all the way up until the end of this month. I think Friday is the last day
the
to
29th,
apply.
the
Yep.
29th,
And
that
that's
is
only
correct.
good for suburban Cook County.
Right.
It's not part of a city of Chicago funding program. It is only eligible for suburban Cook County.
Right.
Man, I
And
look. It seemed like I know.
Chicago,
Look, wait a
now
minute. It seemed like I
Chicago,
know an awful lot of stuff about this, don't I?
man, you do. You do know quite a bit, but you had a little help though,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, just so people know, anytime I know I have a guest coming on that has a specialty, I like to be able to hold intelligent conversation with them. So I went and done some homework
Do
so that
your
I
do
was
your homework.
aware, of what was going on with some of these programs that he may bring up. Now he's gonna bring up some stuff I don't know nothing about, and I'm gonna ask a whole bunch of questions again. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify, that these programs that we're talking about, especially the Cook County one, comes to an end on Friday. It's the end of this month. All applications will cease at the end of this month.
That is correct. And what you need to do, if you have not applied for that program, you need to go to this website. It's H like Harry, A like Apple, C like Cat, and then C like Cat. HACC, period. And then all one word together, rentrelief.com. And what that's going to do, that's going to take you directly to the website where you're going to get the login screen, and you would go down to where it says register now at the bottom of the screen, and you can register right then and there. And it's going to give you a password. Your email could be your user ID. It's going to give you a password where you can create the password, and you can go directly um, into the application. If you happen to have some questions or problems, or if you don't have a computer, you're not computer literate, uh, feel free to give my agency a call. My agency is 708-957-4674. And when you call the agency, you can get help. Somebody will set an appointment up with you to help you get the application completed if you have not done so. So, really, Dr. Ron, this is a final push that I'm putting
Right,
on your program.
right,
If you don't do this now, on Friday you will be locked out and you won't be able to
right.
get a chance to partake of this particular program. Now, with that in mind, I could go over some components of the program, actually of both programs, because some of them are similar.
Now,
There's
what's the
special,
funding? What's the funding amount that they can receive from the county one, the one we're talking about now? What's available?
I believe it's 15,000.
15,000. Okay. All right.
Uh, you know, now there's special priority that is given to people who are unemployed, people who are under at 50% of the area median income, between 50 to 80%. And then you have people who, if you're disabled, however, you would not have your income would not have been affected by COVID, or if you're receiving Social
Mm-hmm.
Security. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of those applications, sad to say, are being denied
So that's
because
a
there was no.
demographic. Yeah, that's a demographic that won't get served.
That's right, and I think you were aware of that.
Right.
I believe you were aware of that yourself. So unfortunately, that's a demographic that won't get served. And then I'm gonna say this: if you're denied for this particular program, and you may have been denied even for the one we just talked about, the state program, there's going to be a round two.
Okay.
Yeah, round two.
Okay.
So Cook County had this is their second round. Cook County is this their second round, and then you're going to get another round for the state.
Okay.
If you were approved for the state program, the ILRPP program, you can have, and your situation has not changed. You get another shot,
Hmm.
which means that the first limit was 25,000.
Right.
The second limit is 15. If you get approved, that means that on the maximum side, you could have gotten between several $1,000s to as much as $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
on the maximum. That is a beautiful thing. So
Now,
if you are in the same situation, you are eligible to apply for round two. Round two is going to begin in around December.
okay. So, question at this point: are is or are, I know I'm in proper English right now, or will the criteria still be the same? So, if landlord-led applications going to have priority over tenant-led applications, or is it too soon to know what the criteria are going to be?
It's a bit too soon to answer
Okay.
that as if they're going to change or not. I don't know if you want to have me back on the show or something when it comes
Oh yeah, man. Look,
that.
you always welcome to come on this show, man. We're talking about if.
Yeah, if I might say something that, wrong to get me fired, like some of these broadcasters be doing.
Oh
Uh,
Lord,
one fella said,
no.
"Look at that monkey run," and he lost his job, and he was
Yeah, he
frank.
should have lost his job.
He said, "You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna call his name, but he
He should
uh,
have lost that job.
saw the
Okay.
running back running up the field. And he said, "Look at that monkey run."
All right,
And he
right,
was out. He was out of work before the before the
right.
show was out. I
All
think.
right, right,
But
right, right.
I want to do
Well,
anything with that.
we ain't
But
got no problem with that because this is an internet show. You can talk about any monkeys, zebras, baboons, elephants that you want to. It will not be a problem, okay? Because we are bringing relevant information that people will have an opportunity to prepare themselves to get in line in order to be able to receive help, okay? Because there's some
hmm
folks that need genuine help. We ain't talking about them folks that be out here hustling. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some folks out here that's doing PPP loans and ain't even got a business. Okay,
hmm
they gonna need some help
hmm
too. They gonna need bond money.
Yeah, they're gonna need some serious bond money.
But we ain't talking about them kind of people that just want to get over. We talking about people that's got families and they trying to, coming into winter, trying not to be homeless, living underneath one of these viaducts, underneath one of these bridges, in a tent, with their family. Okay.
hmm
Because and correct me if I'm wrong, the moratorium in Chicago and the state of Illinois has been lifted. There's no longer protection with being evicted. They can get put out.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's gonna go into the second part. And I think we on for an hour, so
Uh-huh.
I have plenty of time to address what you were just saying, and now you know that that's one of the things that I do best when it comes to
Hmm.
dealing with moratoriums and dealing with foreclosures and so on and so forth.
Right.
And that's where the pivotal time is coming in that we're about to see that shift. There are already some landlords that have already filed for eviction,
Hmm.
and if you go to court, renters, you need tenants, you need to listen to what I'm about to say. There is now Chicago has the ERAP program. But now you have another program that's through the Illinois Department of Human Services.
Hmm.
And that program is a court based program. And that program is designed to not only to get uh, to get your rent paid up, but it's also designed to prevent homelessness.
Hmm.
And it's a court based program, and and the judge can refer you to that program, to where you can apply for assistance through the Illinois Department of Human Services. So you need to understand that it's everything is geared really toward preventing homelessness and keeping people properly housed.
Hmm.
So the moratorium has been lifted. There are people who have been going to eviction court, to the Zoom court, um, and these things are being carried out as even while we are speaking.
Hmm.
I've actually talked to people who have eviction dates and court dates, and they are afraid of what's going to happen. Also, know this, that you have legal assistance that's available to you.
Hmm.
And those of you that don't have income, This assistance is available to you for free
Mm-hmm.
that you can utilize through legal aid. You can Google legal aid and get the number. You also have CARPLS, or CARPLS for short, and CARPLS is used to give legal advice to anyone. And I know Doc Ron. I know you've heard of these programs, the legal programs,
Right.
and I will tell you they do work and they do represent um, the people. A lot of people say, "Well, they didn't do anything for me." Well, it depends on what it was that you needed.
Right.
They don't do everything,
Right.
but they help senior citizens, they help veterans, people with disabilities, and they also help people who have been wrongfully treated by their landlords.
Mm-hmm.
Landlords, you just can't go treating everybody the way you want to treat them. You cannot put a person out. The only person who can put you out of a house is a judge, or a
Right.
apartment is a judge. No
Right.
matter what the landlord say, no matter what he's doing. And another thing, if they're turning off the utilities, they turn off the water, they're doing things like that. That's illegal too.
Yep.
So they can't do any of that. You need to call legal aid. You need to call carpals if you have someone that's doing that to you. You do, or you can, once again, if you need that referral, you can call South Suburban Housing Center. And my name is Robert Sanders, and you can, and it's 708-957-4674 that you can call. And Dr. Ron had my email, um, on
It's
the
it's
show.
it's right here.
It's
It's
right
right up
there. It's
underneath
right
you.
there on the
Yeah.
show.
Yep.
If you don't want to call, shoot me an email, and I'll get back with you. Sometime it might take a minute. Don't you even say anything, Doc. I know he was gonna. I know he want to go there.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that to you. You
You ain't gonna
know.
do that to.
Yeah. Now let me piggyback off of what you just said. Um, in the city of Chicago, if you have a landlord that has turned off utilities, you can call 311 and they will immediately send someone out to investigate what's going on. On LaShawn Ford's website, he posted 2 weeks ago that in the state of Illinois, especially in the Chicagoland area, the utility companies have agreed not to turn off electric and gas on any properties um, currently. Okay, I'll just leave it like that because we don't know how long that favor is going to be in place. But they have the utility companies have agreed not to turn off any utilities currently. We don't know how long that's going to last, but at the moment, so if a landlord tells you that the electric company came out and shut off the building, they lying. If they come out and tell you that they shut the gas off for the building, they lying. Okay. And in Chicago, they will send inspectors out that will look into that because, during the wintertime, you have to have certain temperature, if it's controlled by the landlord at all times during the winter during the winter it's mandatory that they have to keep it at a certain temperature all during the winter. So you do have some tenant options available to you. And I'm sure Robert, somebody in his office, can help you navigate through some of those things as well. But I just wanted to piggyback on that to let you know that, hey, if your landlord is upset because you ain't paid no money, rightfully so. I understand. They hurting, they need their money. But at the end of the day, they just can't treat you any kind of way.
That's right. That's right. They can't. You do have rights, no matter what your situation or what your status is, and a lot of times we go down because we're not aware of what rights we have. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to learn how to utilize the resources. Also, contact your elected officials. Most of your
Mm-hmm.
elected officials, many of them know me by name. And many of them are aware of our agencies and different agencies that that we service. We actually they refer a lot of people to us that need help. So don't be afraid to contact people like LaShawn Ford. We got Representative Davis. We work very close. I think you already know this, Dr. Ron, with Bobby Rush's office and
Mm-hmm.
Congresswoman Robin Kelly. They are key resources to directing you as to where you need to go. And you'll be surprised. Sometimes just a phone call from the office can unlock a lot of things. And I know some of you may say, "Oh, I did that and that didn't work." Well, you know, your situation may not have fit whatever it was that you were trying to do. There are many reasons as to why things can't happen. So you know that the 311 thing that you was piggybacking on, that's huge because a lot of people don't know that they can call 311. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we have gotten calls about landlords doing things to their neighbor. One lady had got a 2020 what's the optimum? What is that? The optimum? Is that a Kia? Kia Optimum or whatever that car is. Beautiful
Oh,
car.
oh, it's a car. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a car. Her car
Okay.
was keyed all the way around by the
Mm.
landlord, and then from the roof all the way back to the trunk, the roof, the top of the deck of the car, all the way across the
Uh-huh.
roof, and back across the trunk. She believes it was by her landlord and had her
Wow.
tires cut.
Wow.
And yeah, and so we got that call.
Wow.
They want to threaten to put her out. They didn't want to get the money. They want to receive the money. So she's about to get a check from from the state, and he didn't want to take the money. So guess what? You already know what her next move is going to be.
Right. She gonna
We
move?
just keeping it. We gonna keep it real. She's afraid, and she can't. She got her tires and stuff back up, and she said she didn't want to get the car fixed yet until she's gone because she's
Right.
afraid she's gonna get the car fixed and he'll key it again.
Right. That's
So
stupid though.
yeah, you got people doing all kind of things. We got calls about the landlord had turned the lights off, claiming that the box was broke. You know, the box was in the basement. You can't do stuff like that. Then and like you were saying about the gas, so just giving you several instances. This stuff is real. This stuff is going on right now.
Yep.
Um, you know, and then you also have you got unscrupulous property management companies that are doing things too. But we didn't really, I guess, get on to talk about that. But we just wanted to let you know that you have some protections and you have some rights in there. Our agency is also a regional fair housing agency, so we fight discrimination, and not on a state level, but on a federal level. If people are discriminating against you based on your color, your religion, your familial status, your status has to your sex or your gender, whether you are fall into the category of LGBTQ or anything like that, just to name a few. If you're discriminated against by your credit, housing, a number of things, and you're denied something, it can be investigated because you can't do that. You know, contrary to what you believe as your religion, you got to, and trust me, you know, I know what I believe, but I still have to be able to respect what yours is by law and
Mm-hmm.
give you the services that you need. So it doesn't matter to me what your flavor is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I have to help you and not discriminate against you. And there's a
Right.
lot of that that's going on. Trust me. That's why we are a regional fair housing agency, and we combat that type of stuff. We investigate and combat it. And if you out there and you get caught doing it, you will face litigation and be sued.
Yeah.
So that is a fact, and Ron knows. I'm speaking the truth when I say that. You will be. There are
Mm-hmm.
many that have gotten sued and have had to pay hefty fines and penalties behind it.
Right.
Uh, if you have a mortgage, however,
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about that because October 3rd, the moratorium lifted. And with the moratorium lifted, the filings have increased as far as the court, at the Chancery Court, the foreclosure court. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't been served yet, you will be served if you are behind in your mortgage. If you're anywhere from 3 to 4 months to as much as 6 months, your loan could be on its way to active foreclosure. There is help for those of you that are in the newer ones that were in that were in the pandemic, and your forbearances have lifted. And a matter of fact, Dr. Ron, I'm gonna tell people that if your forbearance lifted October 1st, the lender has to give you a 60-day grace period for
Mm.
FHA loans before they can institute any activity. So what is going to happen? The forbearance um, at that end of that 60-day period. So you're looking at after December 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
December
now,
2nd.
now, before you go too fast on that, when you say forbearance, now I know there's various types. Some people took the late and put it on the end of a loan, or they just, there are various types of forbearance that were being offered by different mortgage companies. So some people just took the late fees and put it on or suspended them for the time being. So when you say forbearances, which ones are you reflecting in this for this purposes?
There's only several of them. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not. I don't want to complicate anybody. I don't want you to think that when you have the FHA COVID forbearance, then you have
Mm-hmm.
the forbearances that are offered for Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae or non, GSE loans, and then you have some of them that are offered by private mortgages. But the more common ones are the ones the FHA and then the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is, I'm gonna talk about Fannie Mae and Freddie. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, what those do, those conventional loans, they defer. They
Mm.
defer. In other words, put to the end of the loan, reset the loan, and will bring it current.
Make it a new closing.
Right. And both of these are streamlined. So there's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of paperwork that you have to submit. Now the
Mm-hmm.
one with FHA, which is more common, there's two things that can happen. You can get a partial claim, and the partial claim is where all of your payments that you owe, and they also waive late fees too. By the way, meant to tell you
Mm-hmm.
that. So there's no late fees; they take those out. But the delinquent payments, they're not placed at the back end. There's a
Mm-hmm.
partial claim that is set up that is due to be paid either if you sell your house, um, if you refinance your house, or
Mm-hmm.
if the loan or when the loan matures.
Mm-hmm.
And that money is actually a loan against the private mortgage insurance on your house that you pay, that small amount that you pay every
Right.
month, that
Right.
$89 or that $101, whatever you pay it every month. That goes into a huge kitty for every FHA loan, and they
Mm-hmm.
borrow, and that kitty is huge, by the way. They borrow against that and use that to get your loan uh,
Caught up.
caught up on the back end, and then they reset it, and you'll be paying the same payment. The
Mm-hmm.
second one, the second one is a combination of the partial claim and a loan modification. In the
Mm-hmm.
loan modification, your interest rate can be reduced anywhere between 2.75 to as much as a little over 3%, and you can get a 25% principal and interest reduction of your payment, and that is the monthly portion that you pay outside of the escrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that is designed to help homeowners who feel that they have lost income and they can't afford their existing payment. And they will do that and reset your loan and bring your loan current as well. Some of my clients have saved as much as that I can see, as much as between I'd say 200 to as much as some of them $400
Mm-hmm.
uh, month by taking that option. And those are done with minimal paperwork, very little paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
But however, what you do need to do, you need to see a housing counselor so that so we can check and see if you can afford whatever that new payment is.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to be in foreclosure within 4 to 6 months on loans like that. So if you're having a problem, you need to, maybe you need to come out of the house. Maybe you need to work something else out because if you can hold on in November, we got the emergency mortgage assistance program.
Mm.
And the emergency mortgage assistance program, they keep going by and hedging on the amounts that's going to be paid, but I know it's going to be at least 25,000. Some
Mm.
people said it was 30, but you can get assistance that way. But my fear is that with that assistance coming, if you don't have a job or things are still the same, you're just kicking the can down the road. So we need to deal with the real problem at hand is trying to find work. So there is help that's out there that's available to you. And then
Mm.
also remember that you have a 60-day grace period. So if you find a job in that 60-day grace period of the forbearance, then you can actually still apply for some of those protections in the forbearance. So nope, they're not going to do anything to you during that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Now let me ask you a question. You need a glass of water or something? There you go. All right, you got it.
Man, you know I'm ready, man. I told you it'll take too long to get
I was
ready.
gonna start talking so you can clear your throat a little bit. One of the questions I have, I know many years ago, 10 years ago, in fact, that was one of the reasons how me and you met. There was a program where they offered mortgage assistance where they paid, for I think up to a year and a half, people's mortgage. I can't remember what the name of the program was.
Hardest hit fund.
Hard as hit.
The hardest
Yes,
hit.
sir. Are they coming back with a program like that or programs like that again? Or have you seen anything on the horizon for things
To
like
my
that?
knowledge, to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
You know, I believe that it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I believe that, and that program was offered through the state too.
Right.
I believe also that there may be other rounds of assistance that are going to be coming out because it's going to take us a while to bounce out and come out of this pandemic. One thing that we have to look at, and this is like a sidebar to what we're talking about, is the rise in cost in goods and services right now.
Mm-hmm.
And these costs are affecting us because we're not seeing any raises coming in our
Mm-hmm.
paychecks and things
Right.
like that. So, and when something goes up, uh, 50% or 100% of what it already was, and it's something that you use all the time, you will definitely feel it in your pocketbook.
Right.
People are feeling this right now.
Yeah.
They're feeling it right now. I know I am
Right.
in some
Right.
ways. And I ain't hurting too bad, but I'm just saying, if it keep going, I'll be hurt just like the next guy. So
What's
something's
see?
got to give.
Yeah.
Something has to give up the line as far as with relief in that respect. I mean,
Yeah.
you got stuff like toilet paper. They said toilet paper ain't gonna go down in price for about a year, so
Man, look, let me
it's
tell
gonna
you
go up
something.
for a while. So
They are blaming this increase on goods and services on the fact that they can't get ships into the port. Well, they always give an increase on price every year around this time. Those of us that's been around a long time, we've seen it. They raise the
mhm,
price of everything as quick as they call it cost of living increase. Okay. And the
cola,
only thing that's not getting increased is the income. So they think, this mandatory $15 an hour is supposed to meet all of your needs, including products, goods, and services, and all your utilities and everything, childcare. Man, please.
That's done. That's gone.
Man, please. Gas going up. You can't. You can't. Now I will say, notice the church finger. I will say that the budget for the public transportation went down. So now it ain't gonna cost you as much to ride the train and or bus. Okay. Now they did offer a 50 cent to $1 savings there. Okay, but that's about the only one I saw that's giving a break to anybody. Okay. So it's rough out there, man. We got about 10 minutes left in the show, man. I know you got more stuff to cover, so I ain't gonna interrupt you no more. You go right ahead.
Oh well, I'm never at a loss for words anyway.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we actually covered quite a bit
Okay.
in the short period of time that we were talking. But in retrospect to housing, as far as where this has affected uh, housing, is that you got the people who are consumers who are purchasing homes. COVID has affected that because right now you have more people working from homes than you have going downtown,
Right.
which has created a glut of office space downtown because many businesses have reduced their space while their staff has remained at home. Many of these have purchased homes and purchased condominiums so that they can be able to work. Now, what happened with that? That started bidding wars.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a meeting with a realtor on today, and while I was meeting with the realtor, she was getting all these texts on her phone. She said, excuse me, Mr. Sanders," and she had 6 people bidding on a property while she was in that meeting, back to
Mm-hmm.
back to back. I was like, really? And she's like, really? And so she was dealing with it, talking with me. So what I'm trying to say is that you who are looking for homes because of the pandemic. This is the kind of thing that has happened. So it's increased the demand for housing. Now, what happens when you have that increased demand for housing and people start buying houses? The values go up. What happens when the values go up? Now you think that, oh, we're good. The taxes
Mm-hmm.
later later on are going.
Well, come on now.
Uh,
Because the
now
taxes is based on value of the property.
that's right. Now some of us were fortunate enough to get a reduction
Uh-huh.
in taxes, especially in some areas of the south suburbs. There have
Yep.
been a reduction, and in other areas of Cook County. But they're already talking about the increase that's going to happen the next time the assessed valuation comes around,
Every year.
and yep, every year. And they also talked about the taxes going up because of the services, and this increase is not supposed to be a nominal one. So
Mm-hmm.
that will affect it. But see, all of this has affected um, us as consumers. And the ones who will be affected the most are people of color because we're
Mm-hmm.
in a system to where it is systemic. It's systemic. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't let that hinder you or block you from that concept of home ownership because you have to educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have on what you can do or what you can't do. We have struggled for this housing situation for many years,
Mm-hmm.
many. And but I watched my grandfather buy. I didn't watch him, but I've heard stories about my grandfather who bought his house. When he bought it, it was on a handshake
Mm-hmm.
and a promise.
Right.
And the man had this. The man sold him that house twice.
Mm.
Oh, you ain't done yet, son. You got
Right, right.
uh,
No
and, and,
paperwork involved. Right.
but no paper. And he came from Mississippi. But you know what he did? He put his money together and he paid cash, and he was done with him.
There you go.
But he had to pay. He had to pay twice
Yeah,
for one. We have pre-purchase classes at our agency that's designed
to
to
help people
educate
out.
you on the
Yeah.
concept of home ownership, and that's what I can do. Gonna give Ron back his 5 minutes because I
Well,
know
look,
he
I
got
just want to make a couple
get
of
in there.
comments. Shout out to
So
Donald
I
Green over in
know.
Arizona. We got Jed on the line from California. He's commenting about what I said a little while ago. He said, Thanksgiving, magically gas goes up. Preach, Dr. Ron. I call shenanigans on the ports. How can it be this hard to dock a bunch of boats? We used to be able to do it. So he lives in California, so he's worked out there. He knows what's going on,
And you and
and
I are sailors. You and I are
exactly.
sailors.
So
So we know.
we know what's going on, right? They use whatever they can in the media to increase the value of products for whatever reason. But bottom line is they come up with an excuse every year around this time. You know, oh well, we got to have winter gas now since we're not using the same gas we used in the summertime because we got to keep it from freezing up. So we got to add additives to it, so that increases it by $5 more a gallon. You know, it's unbelievable how they come up with excuses to justify what they're doing. Then they take pictures of all these boats out there sitting on the dock, and I
Hmm.
promise you, I don't care what Walmart you go to, they shelves are full. They
That's right.
getting they getting stuff to their shelves. They getting stuff to their stores. Okay, and most stores are getting what they're supposed to have because they're getting it out of those warehouses and then putting it on shelves so people can buy it at those high prices. You know, well, look, man, I want to thank you once again for coming on the show, informing us, educating us, telling us about what you do, and all the meetings that you get into, talking about keeping us aware of what's going on, man. I thank you, man. I love the fact that you bring cutting edge, fresh information. Like you said, December. That's the
Hmm.
magic date. Housing and rental assistance rolling out again. And I know you're going to keep me informed because you always send me a fresh email, say, hey, bro, this the new one, and I get it out there, let people know what's going on. We got about 2-3 minutes. What is it that you would like to leave with the people before you get out of here today?
I wanted to say you want to stay informed, you want to stay educated. We dry up and wither away because of what we don't know,
Hmm.
and we have to do that. If you need to get connected on the short form, you can go to our website at southsuburbanhousingcenter.org. Once again, that's southsuburbanhousingcenter.org. And when you go there, you'll look at the services, but also if you subscribe to the newsletter or the email, you will know about those services when they come out. In a lot of cases before they come out, and also the webinars and things like that we have. And it doesn't. We're a HUD approved agency, so some of that information can transfer to you that may even live in other states,
Hmm.
and we can refer you to other agencies in the states that you live in.
Hmm.
I think there's some of them that's on here that were Jed. I don't know what I believe that
Yeah,
you.
Jed's in California. Donald
Yeah.
Green is in Arizona. Yeah.
Oh, Donald Green, you in Arizona, my old place. I used to live in Phoenix for years.
Hmm.
So, and I lived in California too, Jed.
Hmm.
So, I'm just saying that doesn't matter where you are. So, we're here to give you the assistance, uh, that you need to give you information, so we can direct you and refer you to where you need to go.
All right now. So you got his email here. You can reach out to him directly. Tell him you saw him on the show. Like, hey man, I like what you was talking about. I need this, 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 and this, and that way you can get a confidential consult out of him. He is hard to catch, y'all. I'm gonna tell you now. You
Man, I
know.
knew you couldn't let. I knew you had to go there before man,
Well,
y'all knew him.
oh man, he is hard to catch. I'm just gonna tell the truth, bro. You be helping so many people, man. Look, I remember one time you called me back, man. I'm on this other line, but I got time to say hello. Because you got them two or three at a time, trying to do
Sometimes,
what you can do, and I know they be rolling, they be trying to find you. But we appreciate you taking time to come out and educate the people today. Thank you, and I know you'll be back. I don't even have to ask no more. We gonna have to get you in here in time to roll out the next program in December. Says we want people to know what's happening around the holiday season, in between the holiday seasons, so that while they sitting there, they ain't crying tears over the turkey. They can know where their help and their lifeline is at. So, man, once again, I appreciate you. I thank you. I love you, man. And
love
we
you too.
definitely, man, we're gonna keep bringing you back and getting this information out here. We got to get out of here, you all. An hour didn't pass. I know it don't take long. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over here and push this button right here and bring this information up for you guys to see while I am checking out. Please make donations, contributions. We need your support. Thank you to all the ones that have made contributions and donations up to this point. Please go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. Support all of my vendors. We need you to support them. While you're there, please go up to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and share. Tell somebody about the Ask Dr. Ron show. We need your support. And we're going to roll up on out of here this week. See y'all on Sunday. You all stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll see you all next week.